The video you are about to see is an example of a chess catastrophe. Now, this was a game I played a few days ago on my digital square off board downstairs in my basement. I was just testing this thing out. I was very excited and I was ready to play some chess. Quite frankly, I was ready to play some chess, but I wasn't ready to play my best chess. So the game you are about to see is an example of an absolute catastrophe. Here, I'll turn the eval var on. Buckle up. This is absolutely insane. I am playing as a 1386 against my opponent, who is 1312. I do not know my actual rating. I haven't played chess rapid in a while. I might be lower, might be higher. Who even knows? Let's get into the game. You are about to see one of the most absurd games, and it starts off with the move G. Wait. It starts off with the move G4. And immediately, black is plus 1.5. I don't even know. I was just like, okay, I don't know what my opponent's doing. I'm not going to play knight f6, right? Because then I invite g5, and I was like, I don't want to do that. But I was like, okay, let's just play something normal, right? Let's just play knight c6. Let's just play knight c6 here. And I was just like, okay, my opponent's going to play dumb. I'm just going to play knight c6. We're going to play d5. It's going to be completely fine. My opponent goes h3. I'm like, what are you even doing? So I was like, okay, we're both being stupid. I guess I'll just go b6, try to put my bishop on the long diagonal over here, blocked conveniently by my pawn. Another excellent play from your boy. 1400 rating isn't going to get itself. And my opponent responds with the move d4. Now, the move d4 is not bad at all. The move d4 says, hey, if your plan was to put your bishop here, this pawn is going to give you some trouble seeing on the line diagonal. And my bishop is completely fine, right? So I play bishop b7 anyways. We get c3, e5. And I'm just like, okay, my opponent's going to play a passive move like c3 here. I'm just going to bust right open the center. And so I do. And my opponent responds with queen b3, which is very interesting move. We see this a lot in various positions from my experience, especially I do like lines in the Nimzo where you end up playing queen b3 over here, except the Nimzo is a completely different opening. Where the move queen b3 is fine here because it prevents bishop b4, or you play like knight f3, bishop here, and queen b3. This is a normal position to play queen b3. This position, wait, spoilers. The position that we reached where queen b3 was played was not a normal time to see queen b3. And you can see how the eval bar absolutely hates queen b3. It's confused why queen b3 was even played. It's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Right? Like, look, this is the most defended pawn on the board, and my opponent's just like, no, I'm going after it. And so I play the logical move, e takes d4, completely relinquishing control of the diagonal. But it's okay, because my opponent takes back, and I play knight d4. Actually a good move, hitting the queen here. And now we're getting control of this pawn. Notice how I could have played knight f6 and probably should have just developed, but I like to be tricky. I like to play some moves. You probably like to play some complicated moves too. You probably don't think about them, nor do I. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe down below. So we have the move queen to a4, which looks like, oh, wait, for your knight. You can move back to c6 here, which I do. I'm like, okay, I don't want to lose the knight. Let's not be silly here. And so we get knight c3, and I play bishop b4, protected by the knight here. Putting pressure, getting the knight to the king. I take, because why not? He takes back. This is creating, I was like, okay, so we're just going to create pawn weaknesses here, right? And then these pawns are weird. What are they doing? And I probably have a healthy advantage. I was right. In my evaluation that I had a healthy advantage here because of this pawn weakness and because of this queen misplacement. Although this bishop is stronger than my bishop, arguably at the moment, I thought this is stupid. So we're just going to undermine that directly. We're going to develop, and we're going to get castled. And the computer doesn't hate developing here. It probably supports knight f6 a little bit more. They're actually about the same. because the computer probably thinks here, well, knight f6, what if this? But you can just go to e4, d7. They're all fine here. You have a bunch of fine options. g5 is also just kind of an overextended pawn. Like, it just seems a little bit silly. So, anyways, we have knight e7 here. Knight f3. And I go... Oh, wait. A little bit of a spoiler there. So we have knight e7. We have knight f3 and castles here. Short castles saying, hey, let's have a game. Let's play a game of chess. And my opponent loves my idea. He's like, great, I forgot you could do that. I'm going to castle too. Again, people just stealing my ideas. I'm, of course, the pioneer and the inventor of castling in and of itself. So I don't know why people seem to think that castling was invented by Jeffrey Castle. It obviously wasn't. It was invented by me, not Jeffrey Castle. Don't know who that guy is. Hopefully a really nice guy, but obviously Jeffrey Castle named the castle after himself is what you would think, but it was me. It was me. I invented the castle. Yep. It was me. And so I play the double exclam move. Let's put a double exclamation point on this. Queen to d6. Now, this move is a little bit questionable. And you can see Stockfish doesn't like it either. But the idea is, hey, we're going to, after this, we're going to go knight takes here. And we're going to play c6 here. And I also thought queen here, because then we could maybe play this, maybe play this. Right, we have a good position here. You notice how our bishop is completely fossilized. Our bishop has no role in this game. We have made moves over time to slowly destroy the position of our own bishop. Yes, this is not how you're supposed to play the game of chess. I understand this. But at the same time, c5. And the computer hates this move. But I'm trying to break things up. Maybe rook c8 in the future. You know, very complicated. Do I play rook c8 here? No. I just take back. Is there rook c8 here? Does this lose? It does lose. Okay. I got excited. I don't know why it loses, but I'm also like 300 probably because you could take a knight afterwards and it's hitting a rook. And this would be worse. Okay. Because this is just a chain that you don't want to go down. Okay. We do not go down the alt-right rabbit hole. However, we do decide that after queen c2, c5, takes, and we're going to play the move D. We're looking to play d4 right here. We're going to break up the position. So you might notice if I want to play, and d4 looks pretty good now. Obviously, it hangs a bishop, but maybe I can play bishop c6 or queen c7, right? Those are that's what I'm thinking in the game. I don't know if these are the best ideas, but that's what I'm thinking in the game, right? So my opponent goes bishop b2. And I'm like, okay, great. We're going to play bishop c6 and d4. And shut up the bishop. And the computer doesn't like this move. But oh boy, it likes d4. d4, the computer loves. The computer gives like +2. It thinks it's a great move. Let's put a great move thing on it. Why not? d4, great move. Blocking in the bishop. Notice how my bishop used to be blocked in. Now my bishop sees the entire board. And his bishop is the one with the same problem. So we get bishop e4, takes, and f5. And the computer might be shaky about f5. But the idea of f5 is we're just going to kick you out. We're just going to boot you out by force. And after takes, I thought I was winning here. I was like, okay, we're just going to go rook g5, queen g2. Computer finds the insane move here. Queen takes a8 check. Devastating. I hung a full rook. Not even an insane move. Not even an insane move. Just would have been absolutely devastating had my opponent seen it, but we're 1300. Thankfully, we make some mistakes. And oh boy, did we make some mistakes. Bishop c1. And at this point in the game, I am using a chessboard that is made by Square Off. Square Off's very cool. Very cool. The idea is it's a digital chessboard, right? In person. And it's great. It works with magnets. The problem is it works with magnets. And I'm trying to play rook h5 here because obviously rook g5 hangs a rook. So I'm just like, okay, rook h5. We have to be completely winning here, putting pressure on the white king, right? When I drag over the piece, the magnet attracts the g5 square. Okay, I got my moves confused. I played rook f8 first. Then after this, I was looking to play rook h5. See, you see, okay, wrong place, wrong time, right? We play queen g3 here, and now is the moment where I was looking to play rook h5. Rook h5 just looks like it's completely winning. And if you ask Stockfish what it thinks I'm an absolute moron. I should just take on h3. But I tried to play rook h5 here is the point. That's what I'm trying to get at here. I was trying to play rook h5, but my board decides, no, stop. I moved the rook over here, and my board was like, no, you actually played this. And you might notice the advantage is completely gone after bishop takes g5. Queen takes g5. Black is no longer winning because there is just simply no attack. Now, the computer thinks black is okay here, but you might notice black is even down in exchange. I went from plus 19 to down in exchange. And you might be asking, Leo, why is this plus 19? Dude, rook takes f3 even. He's just completely weaning. Where do you go? Where do you go? You have to sacrifice the queen. And at this point, the queen is way better than the rooks. Check. Would have won material pretty shortly. And then we also have these two passed pawns in the center of the board. If white can even get any semblance of an advantage. Yet here in this position, I played rook g5. My opponent takes, I take. And I feel devastated in this position. At first, I was like, okay, rook g5, it's not that bad. And then I realized I'm just down in exchange now. And although I protect the knight by some miracle, there would have been a lot of worse slip-ups to make. My opponent knows it's time. And I play a little bit inaccurately here. Rook f4, I'm like, okay, let's still put pressure on the position. Another spoiler. You guys aren't paying attention anyways. You guys have me in the other tab or something. Not even paying attention. Anywho. Rook f4. Queen e6. I go king h8 here. Terrible move. Don't know what I'm doing. Like king h8. And we get rook g1. And I'm thinking, oh no, my opponent is going to come barreling down this file and hit my king. Yes, the queen can see the king like that. Don't question it at all. And so I play queen h4 check. I'm just like, okay, we're going to complicate the position as much as possible, right? That's pretty much my idea here. Let's just make it really complicated. Let's make my opponent have to tread lightly. My opponent responds with rook g3, which the computer doesn't like. The computer sees some way to equalize the computer as a scumbag. Let the computer be a scumbag. That's okay. I'm like, well, I want to play knight f5 here. But if I play knight f5 here, I get mated. You know, I'm not good at chess, but I'm good enough to see that, right? So I play h6. I'm like, okay, get a little off for my king. In hindsight, the computer would prefer h5, even over g6, obviously, because g6, you still can't do the same thing because you kind of die on that hill. The computer says h5 is the way to hold for black here. Computer says h5. I looked at this game, by the way. I'm not looking at the eval right now. So I go h6. Computer doesn't like it. But I'm like, okay, we have a plan. Let's go h7 in here. The thing is, chat, when you are losing in a position, you should still have a plan. You should still have some stipulations. You should still have some things that your opponents can fall into. And I was praying at this point in the game that my opponent would fall into some of my traps. So I do a little bit of malicious behavior. We do a little bit of tomfoolery, even. Play g6. Now, you might ask, why g6? Because I don't want him taking here. So I play g6, because my knight's protecting that. Big brain, right? And now no one's going to be able to take that with check, right? So I'm going to at least have a move to get over here. So King F1 is played here. And you might think, why did he play King F1? He just has the advantage. He should just, I don't know, maybe take and win the game. Maybe you're thinking my opponent should do that. And maybe you have Stockfish up and you're looking at this game and you're like, Leo, there's 12 other things for him to do to win this game. I don't care. That's not the point. I play Knight F5 here. And you might be thinking, Queen E8. And that's exactly what my opponent did. He played Queen E8. And what I should have played here was King H7. Because King G7 blunders Rook G6. But I play King G7. I'm just like, whatever, end it. Rook G6, King H7, and Queen H8 and Queen G8 mate, right? And I know what you're thinking right now. Wait, Leo. But when I saw you accidentally fast forward in the video earlier, by no means did it look like your opponent played Rook takes G6 here. And by those means, you are absolutely correct. My opponent plays Queen takes G6, which by no means is losing. But you might notice there is no mate. There is no immediate checkmate. And I'm like, whoa, my God. I mean, when I played this move, I immediately was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Queen takes G6 was way better. I should have stopped and calculated. But what you have to keep in mind here is I've been calculating too much all game. And I think I had some connectivity issues with the board. The board doesn't work perfectly, chat. It's okay. I like the board. It's physical. It's cool. I realized my phone wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi, so maybe that's why. But anywho, at this point, I walked to the bathroom. I literally used the bathroom in the middle of this game. I was like, my opponent's just going to play Rook takes G6. The game's over. So I used the bathroom. I come back, and I'm overjoyed. I'm like, what? Queen takes F6, or Queen takes G6. My opponent thought for like 15 seconds on that move. So I did a quick bathroom break. My bathroom break was only like 40 seconds. The bathroom was down the hall. I peed. I came back. I ran back to the board. I didn't want to lose on time. My opponent plays Queen G8. Okay, it's fine. But I'm just going to run away. And so I ran away. And my opponent got so tunnel visioned in this position. There are so many ideas. If we turn on Stockfish, we can see Queen H7 check is plus 64. 64! And out of all the moves my opponent could play, he ends the game, the knockout blow, with Rook G4. And Rook G4 is the knockout blow against his own king. Rook G4 does end the game. Just for the guy with the black pieces. The guy who just blundered mate in 2. The guy who just went to the bathroom in the middle of the game. Plays Knight E3, check, and mate. And after the most tumultuous 30 minutes of my life, I am absolutely saved by the worst slip-up in chess history. I don't care. It's definitely not the worst slip-up in chess history, but it was absolutely absurd, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. This game was an absolute masterpiece and an absolute masterclass. Why you should never resign. I, for one, am never going to resign in Rapid Chess. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. If you're going to resign, just go to the bathroom. Maybe your opponent will play a dumb move. It's all good. Thank you so much for watching. Much love, everybody. Thank you so much. Check out my other videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.